What is up, Honey Badger Nation, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Expert Mentors Live. And man, episode 247. Holy smokes. So, man, I get the honor to run solo with you guys today. And I'm super, super excited to be able to share with you kind of the foundational framework that we've operated within in all of our businesses, multiple brokerages. The same formula that, Jay, myself, we utilize in our agent attraction efforts, what I use to run, and grow the coaching organization. And it's really the same framework that would apply to anything that you guys are wanting to achieve and wanting to accomplish and wanting to do. And, we figured a lot of this out the hard way. We like to touch the hot stove multiple times. And obviously a lot of this was blood, sweat, tears, trial, tribulations. And so super excited to be able to share the framework, but it's in the framework and presentation that I was able to head up north to some of our amazing honey badgers, where I was able to speak with to the collective organization with Micah Sadler and Brandon Town and their organization and their crew up in Canada a couple of weeks ago. And so I was like, man, let me jump in and share this, because it's absolute fire for everybody out there that is seriously committed to really building a business that's sustainable, not something that's reactive, that forces you back on your heels and just comes and goes, and the ebbs and flows and the unpredictability. But this is for those audacious few that really are committed to building a business that has a solid foundation, that can weather any storm, any season, any climate that the market wants to throw at us. So cool. Let's let us jump in. All right, cool. So we're going to really dive into what the foundation and what it takes to really become the CEO of your business. And the goal for this Expert Mentors, this session, is to give you guys a framework to be able to really be able to make better decisions and understand, okay, hey, we've got this. Hey, we're missing this. We need these additional components, these additional pieces to really help us build and have a strong foundation. That's what the goal of this session is, really the framework to build the footings and the support to be able to build on top of whatever it is that you guys want to build. So that's my goal, is to give you guys that sense of clarity, that sense of direction. Also, some other tools and things, challenge your thinking, and excited to be able to do that. And if not, y'all can strut into the rest of this year looking like this. I don't know why I feel like this is the funniest slide I've ever seen. I always share it. I get a kick out of it. I think I put it in here just because I get a kick out of it. But anyways, so for those of you that don't know, man, we've got a lot of honey badgers and a lot of new honey badgers. So maybe haven't had the introduction. So let me give you a little bit of background. Man, I'm a coach's kid. I grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma. My dad was in the public school system for almost 50 years. And so, man, I that's all I know, man. I grew up in the locker room. I grew up out on the field. My dad, coaching football, then girls basketball, then golf. And then, hey, we were back up there taking care of the fields during the summertime. So just kind of hardwired into my DNA, understanding, the impact and the power of what coaches, mentors can do to other human beings. And it really just formed a belief system in me that at my core, I know everyone on the planet needs a great coach in their life. I know and believe that a great coach in our lives are better. And also the belief that, for our business to be better, we have to be better. Guys, there are no business problems. There's only leadership problems. And and the leadership problem starts with you. That's the number one rule of leadership, lead by example. So I know you can't coach and lead another human until you can coach and lead yourself first. And your business is not where it's at. It's in direct proportion to the capabilities of your leadership. That's the hard facts. So if you're struggling in your business, it's because your leadership is struggling. Facts. So my why, and it's going to come through in this session. If you guys, like I said, new to the Honey Badger Nation, being able to get plugged in, any of the content, any of the shows, any of the things that I'm a part of or are able to be a part of to pour back into to all of y'all, you'll see this. It really comes out. And for me, it's inspiring and challenge people to think bigger. It's the number one constraint. It's the number one thing that I've seen, over the last 12 years of one-on-one coaching, 20 years in the game. Man, just don't think big enough. It's a reminder to myself too, right? Keep thinking bigger. And when that happens, the transformation happens. So for me, it's inspiring and challenge people to think bigger so that they can transform their business and, most importantly, transform their lives. Little background, man, college dropout. The connector there is the gentleman next to me, Mr. Michael Reese. We went to junior high school together, and he was my first roommate I ever lived with, moving out of the house, going to college. That's a whole nother conversation to share some of those amazing stories. But man, college just wasn't a thing, man. I went to play golf and ended up on the drinking team instead of the golf team. And my aunt was like, "What are you doing, dude? You got hair, you're riding a Harley, you got hair down to your, down below your, to your shoulders, you're riding a Harley. What are you doing?" So she got me out to California, where was an absolute blessing, right? If you guys, McConaughey's, it was a green light. Me dropping out of college was a green light because it put me in a position when the golf industry was booming to get a job at a semi-private golf resort with one of the most amazing bosses that I could possibly have. And, she really forced on me to learn the business. And I was in the perfect environment, dealing with members, dealing with public, teaching them how to play. I knew that, right? I knew how to play, but understanding the business dynamics of how to run a successful, golf shop, how to supply it, close, purchase, keeping the golf shop profitable, to spending time in food and beverage, over in lodging, in the kitchen, just learning everything, and then spending time with the GM. So, man, that was just an incredible 3.5 year run for me, like I said, which was my schooling. And of course, like anybody that's ever left home, you usually get sucked back in at least once. And that's what happened to me. I got sucked back into Oklahoma with buddy, best friend out of junior high and high school, and sucked me back in, man. And serial entrepreneur. He was the kid that would, flip, sell blow pops at school, right? Him and Michael Reese are in my mind the greatest salesman that I've ever been around. And so he sucked me back in, man. He sold me, and I was able to help those guys take, ideas to execution, to business models, to profitability, and to getting them sold. We sold our last endeavor in 2003 to a waste management company. And we were without a business. And so we're sitting around, and, my buddy decides that to have this stroke of genius, and thought we should buy the bar that was for sale around the corner. And I don't know about you guys, if you've ever thought about it or want to, have a conversation with me first. It was one of the worst decisions we ever made. Made for an interesting 2004. I look back now, and man, it was another green light, because what it did is it was a forced opportunity to get away from him and stoke the the flame, to where we're at now. But it was the introduction to Jay. to Kinder. And the connector was Michael Reese. Michael found out that I was about to make a jump, and he was mentoring under Jay at the time. And he told Kinder that whatever it cost, get him. And so I came on board with Kinder in 2004 and really into head of operations, finance, but really in an integrator role when integrator wasn't a thing. And so came on board with Jay there at the end of 2004. And man, over the last 20 years, it's been a fun ride. And it's just really being a part of multiple brokerages, getting them, to 7-figure plus, 4,300 transactions on my watch. And over the last 12 years, been able to work with some of the most dynamic, amazing real estate professionals in the industry. On our way to almost 16,000 one-on-one coaching calls, which is just bananas to even think about as well. Had the opportunity to work with just some absolute rock stars in the industry. Just a few here, plus so many others. So here's what we're going to dive into. This is really the foundation, the framework from, to really become the true CEO of your business, going from agent to CEO. And so we're going to hit on the four key foundational points. There's a couple others that kind of fall into this process, but these are the key four that we're going to really touch on today: vision, model, strategy, people. After we work through these four, I've got a free training that you guys can take advantage of. No cost, no nothing. Just there's going to be a QR code. There's also a URL you can come back around to and take advantage of the free training that we myself and my team have put together that will help give you some foundational things to get to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures on your path to 7+. So let's jump in. Let's jump into vision. And this is where it has to start. For us, without having that strong vision of the direction of where we're wanting to take our organization. And I'm just going to tell this to you guys. Your business is a vehicle. Okay. That's all it is. The number one goal of your business has to be freedom. If you are not moving in a known direction, if you are not moving closer to your freedom, if you don't have a framework, then what happens is that we tend to say yes to things that are moving us further away instead of things that are moving us closer. We have to have frameworks. We got to be able to have that that destination of where we're trying to go. And the ultimate destination is freedom. Guys, your business, every business that you have, you're a part of, the number one objective is how are you utilizing and structuring and designing and building this business to move you closer to your freedom. Now, you can get into say, okay, well, what are the objectives of business? Well, the objective of business is that you better get people results, you better solve problems, and it better make money, right? Because the money, which is cash, is oxygen to continue to accelerate the business to keep it moving forward. Cash to your business is like oxygen to your body. And so when you have your business, it's got to be profitable, but it's got to be helping you move closer to freedom. That's the goal. That's what it is designed and meant to do. So within vision, there's 3 key components to just a stellar vision that just gravitates, that attracts people. And the first component of any vision comes down to your values. And your core values are the shoulds and should nots. How do we behave? How do we make decisions? We hire, fire, train, coach, lead to the core values. If something is off, if there's an energy off with another human being, if somebody, messes up or doesn't follow through the right way, you get frustrated. It's a core value misalignment, and it's an opportunity to train and coach and lead back to it. These are my foundational values from our organization. They've been really a part since we really understood and grasped the power of core values. They have always been there, and they come from you. And that's a lot. That's one of the questions that I always get is like, is there a difference in your personal core values in your business? No, they're the same. Okay. When you're designing and building your business now, could there be additional ones for additional stakeholders and people that have a say, an ownership in the organization? Of course. But if it's your organization, you are head of company, you are the ultimate decision maker, shit hits the fan, it's on you. These are yours. And they are the shoulds and should nots. This allows you to make better decisions, and it allows your team to make better decisions. Mine, number one, growth. Like I have a strong conviction and belief that myself and my team and the people that I allow into my inner circle, they are of growth mindset. They are committed to growing personally and professionally every damn day. No days off on personal development, personally and professionally. It's a non-negotiable. The other one is consistently disciplined, like disciplined in our thoughts, disciplined in our behavior, disciplined in our actions consistently, right? Times is, the over time staying that's where great things happen. Okay. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, right? Like even trying to say, 21 days to build a habit, bullshit. 18 months. If you're something that you're not willing to stay committed to and disciplined to for at least 18 months, then don't do it. Consistently disciplined. The other one is always add value. I don't care what it is. Are you adding value? That's always the right decision. Are we adding value or not? And so we're always trying to come from a place of adding value. As you can probably tell, if you guys know and been a part of the Honey Badger Nation for a while, you're like, yep, that's these guys. That is us at our core. We always come from a place of contribution. It's always a place of adding value. The next one is 100-0. 100% responsibility, zero excuses. Zero excuses. The second you open your mouth and an excuse comes out, I tune you out. No excuses, right? Zero. We are results focused. I don't care. Listen, I'm the most system dependent guy you will ever meet. Everything is a system. I know if you have a problem, it ain't a problem or a solution. It's a system is missing. It's always system dependent. But at the end of the day, those systems better get results. So I don't care how you get there. As long as you get there and get the result, then we can backtrack and figure out how we did and how we got the result. And then what was the system for that to be true? 100%, 100-0, results focused. And bro, we're going to have fun. Like if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it. And so, man, I get it. Yeah. Results focused, results, winning. And I buy into it too, right? Winning is more fun than fun is fun. However, we're going to have fun. And if it ain't fun, we ain't going to do it. And then lastly, candid communication. We adopted, we had this as open and real communication. The thing that I did not like about open and real communication is that it can be used as a weapon. See, the number one rule of communication is you always get permission. So if you're going to be candid in your communication, you're going to get permission and you're going to be very direct. Here's the other thing on it. You're going to be kind. I didn't say you're going to be nice. You're going to be kind. You're going to be straight to the point because it's about getting to right. It's not about being right. It's owning your mistakes. It's focusing on the results. It's always adding value. It's staying consistent, staying disciplined, of growth mindset. Those are our values. That's how we make decisions. That's what we do each and every day. The other component of a vision, of a compelling vision, is purpose. Why does your company exist? And more importantly, why should anyone care? Okay. Yeah, I told you guys, your business is designed for your freedom. However, team ain't going to buy into your freedom. The vision better be so big that they can achieve their dreams within it. Okay. What is the mission that you're on? See, why my company exists is my value, right? We inspire and challenge people to think bigger so that they can transform their business and transform their lives. My why is our purpose for our business. That doesn't mean that it should be for yours. You have to find why you do what you do. Why does your company do what it does? What is the purpose that it is even in existence? One of the questions is, if you closed your doors today, would anybody notice tomorrow? Why does your company exist? Why should anybody care? The last component of a compelling vision, guys, it's got to check all three boxes. The final check in the vision box is big, hairy, audacious goal. That's what BHAG stands for. What is that big, hairy, audacious goal that you have for your business? It could be freedom. It could be number of lives impacted. It could be whatever the heck you want it to be. The challenge is that when you're going through these exercises and you're looking into the future, you're like, bro, I get it, man. That's yay. But I don't know where my next commission check is coming from. I get it. Okay. So this is why you have to focus on a bigger future. If you're not happy with your present situation, it's because your future is not big enough. For our present to be better, our future has to be bigger. It's amazing what happens to our minds when we're focusing on that bigger picture. Okay. We're always progressing, moving towards something. We're moving in that known direction. So when you're looking at your BHAG, you have to give yourself permission and look through a different lens, because the only lens when you're in survival is you're looking through the lens of your current situation and current financial situation. That's the lens you're looking through. And guys, I get it, man. I've been on the floor. I've been like, I don't know how I'm going to make payroll too many times. But the truth is that if you're growing, growth sucks cash. Always has, always will. So understanding and knowing that as you're in growth mode, as all honey badgers are, you're going to run into those type of situations. So if you're in a tight situation right now from a cash flow perspective, guess what? It's probably going to happen again. And it'll probably happen again. So you can't lose sight of the destination and the mountaintop that we're in pursuit of. So give yourself permission, man. If you had $100 million, what would you do? What mountaintop would you be in pursuit of? What is that BHAG? And guys, those three things, strong core values, shoulds and should nots, how we behave, why you do what you do, what is the purpose, the why, the mission that your organization is on, and where are we going? What's the top of the mountain that we're in pursuit of? That's what gets people excited, right? And I'm telling you guys, I'll tell you this from my own experience. Without a vision, the village will perish. Great people will leave you if they do not see a future and an ability to achieve their dreams within your vision. That's why we start with vision. What is the vision? What is that compelling reason, that North Star that we're in pursuit of? Next component is model. All right. And it really comes down to the business model and what business model do you want to be in? Remember, it's a creative world. You get to design your business. Guys, this is my 12th. I just completed my 12th year of one-on-one coaching, multiple brokerages. I've seen from the solopreneur to the top teams on the planet, I've had the opportunity to coach. There's so many different ways to get there, right? You look at client Andrew Franklin, his business model. You look at the number one team at Real, the Perry Group, their business model. They're different, but they're both one of the top teams on the planet. There's so many different ways to get there. You just have to decide how are you best equipped to serve it. And you have to understand the foundation of really what is a business model. And a business model really just describes the rationale of how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value okay, to your client segment. And there are 9 key building blocks of any business model, any business model. And the first is, who are we serving, right? Who is that ideal client? Who is that avatar? Okay. If you're not sure, just Google avatar, ICP, ideal client profile mix. Chat GPT will create great avatars for you. But here's another exercise that I would challenge you to throw in on top of, and it's called the DOS. D stands for dangers, fears. O's stands for opportunities. And S is strengths. So what I would challenge you to think about is, okay, man, if I could only work with 5 people or 5 types of people for the rest of my career, who would they be? And what's the through line for all 5? What out of all 5, what are their biggest fears? What keeps them up at night? What are their biggest opportunities that they're all in pursuit of? And what are their strengths? And see, your job in your business is to help people utilize their strengths to overcome their fears so they can capture their opportunities. DOS. Great exercise. Use AI, use Chat GPT, use those things. Go through the avatar process. Get clear on your client profiles. And the reason it says customer segments, because if you're running a real estate brokerage, a real estate team, if you're in real estate working with buyers, sellers, maybe you want to work with some investors. You want to work with some builders. I have real estate agents, right? There's 5 different customer segments right there. Do I have to do this kind of think through this through all 5? Yes, you do. So we have our customer segments. And then what is our value proposition? Remember, our business is how do we create, deliver, and capture value? We're in the results business. The only thing people buy is they buy results. Our job is to solve problems to help them achieve their results. If you think you're doing anything else, you're thinking wrong. You're only about getting people results. So as you're building out your value proposition, what is it that you can, with the least amount of energy, effort, steps, get people the results that they will pay for? Okay. When we solve problems, that's when money exchanges hands. You solve big problems, you make big money. You solve small problems, you make small money. So we are in the problem-solving business, and we help people get results. Don't confuse it. That's it. That's all we do. So what is the value proposition to each of those segments that helps them get the results that they want? Channel. How do we get that message out to them? Where are they hanging out? Okay. So social media, great. Which social media platforms do your customers hang out at? Are they on Facebook? Are they on YouTube? Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? Like, where are they? How are we getting our message out to them? Do they check email? Email's a channel, right? Radio's a channel. TV's a channel. Direct mail is a channel. Door knocking's a channel. Like, how are we getting our message through? What channels are we delivering our promise to our customer segment? Next is, man, how are we managing the relationship? How are we managing that relationship? Now, remember, I said it's about the least amount to get the result. Everything else just improves the experience. Okay. So don't mistake that, because I see a lot of people that do a bunch of stuff to improve the experience, but they don't do anything to get the result. Get the damn result first. And then how do you manage that experience and that relationship to create lifetime value, to create advocates that turn into promoters for you? What are all the revenue streams in your business model, right? What are all the ways? Your commission, other agents' commissions, buy commission, selling commission, transaction fees, vendor support, vendor money, right? What are all the multiple revenue streams that you have within your business model? What are the key resources required to help get the results and deliver on the overall experience? What activities are required to do that? who are the key players that we have to bring in and partner with to be able to, right, create, deliver, and capture the value. There's a lot of great people out there that are great at getting people, but the back door is wide open. So it takes getting, but it also takes keeping. And what is that in the key partnership side of things to help deliver on that experience? And then, guys, what is the damn budget? It's one of the most just like, are you kidding me things that I see with real estate agents is that they run their business from their checking account. They don't have a budget. They're not looking at P&Ls. They're not managing and forecasting cash flows. Like, what is the cost structure? What is the budget to be able to deliver on this and make a profit, right? Profit is cash. Cash is oxygen. Growth sucks cash. We've got to have a great cost structure and a great business model. So we've got our vision, compelling vision. It's massive. People are attracted to it. They can achieve their dreams within it. We've got a very viable, profitable business model that goes after the right people with the right value, and not only gets them the results, but that just creates this experience that they become, the world's great. I mean, they stop traffic when they hear buzzwords about real estate or coaching or whatever your business model is, and then from there, what is the strategy, man? What's the plan? And so when you look at strategy, I think people get glazed over a little bit with it, right? So let's keep it real simple. Strategy is simple and obvious, okay? It identifies the key challenge to overcome. One of the things that how I operate, how my team operates, how our clients, I challenge them every day is to think in the theory of constraints. And you're either hitting the goal or you're not hitting the goal. And guess what? If you hit the goal, raise the goal. Now you're no longer hitting it. And from that point, then where is the constraint? Why are we not hitting the goal? Business comes down to three things. Guys, I like to keep it simple. Here's the three things. Don't miss this. One, it's traffic, it's conversion, or it's fulfillment. Traffic, conversion, fulfillment. You have a bottleneck somewhere there. You're a honey badger. You probably know how to fulfill, meaning you get a client that either allows you to sell their listing or work with them as a buyer. You're going to get them to the finish line. That's why you're a honey badger. You're going to figure it out. You can fulfill. You might need some training or some brushing up or some repetitiveness on your conversion. You got conversion from lead to contact to conversation to setting an appointment. And then you have appointment articulating your value of why they would want to move forward with you. So a couple conversion points. So conversion and then traffic. Conversion is a skill. Traffic is a skill as well, but it's an ongoing thing. Guys, it's not the best real estate agent that wins. It's the best marketer. And those that can generate traffic. And everywhere I go, every room I'm in, I have them, I poll the room. Do you have a traffic problem? Do you have a conversion problem? Or do you have a fulfillment problem? 99% of every room, it's always traffic. Okay. So when you're looking at a good strategy, is identifying the problem, identifying the constraint, and what is our solution, our plan, our objective, our theory, our whatever we're going to execute on to overcome that challenge. That's a good strategy. A bad strategy just fails to identify. Bad strategy is like, man, we got goals, we got ambition, we got vision, we got effort. That ain't strategy. They're great, they're important, but that's not strategy. Don't mistake that, okay? And then our final component, guys, is people. And truth be told, you can set model and you can set strategy, vision, and then the people, right? the people. If you're not getting the results you want, I'm gonna start with the end in mind. That's why we start with vision, because it's easier when you have a maze. You're looking at a maze. It's easier to start at where you exit the maze at the end and draw the line back to the start than it is to get at the start and go to the finish. That's how our brains work. So that's why, from a math perspective, it's always about getting from A to B, and B is freedom. B is the result. So if we're not getting the result, we're not achieving the outcome that we want. You can reverse engineer, and there's things, right? There's, results. It's action. Actions lead to our results. How we feel leads to the actions. Feeling empowered or disempowered will determine the type of actions we take. Our thinking, our beliefs lead to how we feel, but our thinking and our beliefs are really driven from environment and circumstance. And so when you look at the environment around you and you look at, the collectiveness of the people, and especially the people on your inner circle, if those people on your inner circle, they don't inspire you, they don't challenge you, they don't push you to be the best version of yourself every day, guys, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. And as leaders and head of our company, CEO of our lives, the number one metric is the percentage of key seats on the bus filled with the right people for those seats. Jesse Itzler has a concept that the day we're born is we're born on this bus that is already in motion. And as we go through our life, the bus never stops. However, people are getting on and off, and sometimes with our help, they're getting off, and sometimes we're on the loudspeaker, throwing that out there to get the people on. And so our job is to get the right people on that bus, but more importantly is putting them in the right seat on the bus. See, back right versus front left is two different viewpoints, two different vantage points. So, you may have the right people, but you maybe just need to shuffle them around a little bit. So that is our number one metric as head of company, CEO of our business, CEO of our life, is to make sure that we've got the key seats on that bus filled with the right people for those seats. And, who we surround ourselves matters, man. We really truly are the collection and the average, the average of the people that we choose to associate with. And, I tell you, the clients and the people that I've had the opportunity to work with over the years, it's an honor, man. I'm just grateful. I've learned so much, obviously, hopefully pouring back into them. And I see it. I see the transformation. And for me, it goes back to my why. And that's what gives me the fulfillment, is seeing that transformation, and just having some really amazing people that I'm able to associate with and tap into on a weekly, daily basis is pretty damn cool. So, as I promised, here's the training, free training for you guys. You made it to this point. Thank you for tuning in to this episode, to this point. But here's the gift. It's a 7-figure blueprint that myself and my team put together, really on the transformation, on really how to discover, how to scale to 7 figures without the chaos and overwork. So here's the QR code, or you can go to 7figurebp.com and get that training. Take advantage of it, guys. It's something that we, like I said, everything that I coach and train and lead on is 20-year journey of being in this game. And really even things foundationally that I learned, from my dad, from all of my coaches that I've had over the years. And so we put together this training. Take advantage of it, 7figurebp.com. But before we wrap up today's episode, most have heard this story. A few have heard this story. Most don't know it. I lost my mom when I was 11. She was 2 months shy of turning 40. And so a few years back, as I was getting ready to turn 40, I wanted to do something to really challenge me, right? I really wanted to push my mind, push my body. And I, decided that I wanted to run a marathon. And, the most I had ran at that point was, blocks, a couple blocks, maybe. I could maybe get a couple blocks down the road. Just was never really a runner per se. Didn't mind doing cardio and doing things like that. Get on the elliptical, do stuff like that, but never really just like run for a long distance. So made the decision to do that. Found my way into the New York City Marathon, slow as a turtle. So I had to go through the sponsorship and donation route, which was fantastic. And we were able to surprise my dad because that year was also me turning 40 was also his 70th. So we surprised him, took him to New York City. I'd never been before. It was just a hell of an experience. Coming out of that event, I had a chance to see Jesse Itzler speak. And man, he really resonated with me during that speech. And he said, one of the worst things for us to do as human beings is accomplish a major milestone and then immediately not reset the goal, right? So even when our visions and our BHAGs, when we get to the top of the mountain, guess what's on the other side of the mountain? Another mountain. So we always got to constantly be in pursuit of those challenges, those milestones, those mountaintops. And Jesse really resonated with me, man. I hadn't really reset the goal. And typical Michael Reese fashion, I get a text message from him a little later after hearing that, and it was a link to Ironman Florida 10th year anniversary. I was like, what the heck is this, right? And so I respond to Mike. I'm like, bro, are you doing this? And of course, crickets, no response. So I went down the rabbit hole. I have a belief that I believe you don't commit and figure it out. I believe you figure out what you want and then you reverse engineer and then you look, is that something you're willing to commit to? And so when I went down the Ironman triathlon rabbit hole, I quickly discovered over 2 mile swim in the water. It's like, wow, okay. My idea of getting in the water is some type of flotation device in a cold beverage. The second is the bike, right? Shit, 112 miles on the bike. Man, I haven't been on a bike since I was like 14 or 15 years old. So trying to, I'm 40 now, trying to figure that out. And then the last piece was the full marathon, which I had completed. So I knew that game. I knew what was going on there. So I sat back and, I'm like, okay, well, the amount of training is required, the learning curve, what am I going to have to do? Do I have the time? Is that something I'm willing to commit to? And when I stepped back and I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that is something I'm willing to commit to. And I went down the rabbit hole. The blessing, not for the people, through Panama City Beach, but the blessing for me as I went down that path was Hurricane Michael that came through and really destroyed Panama City Beach, where Ironman Florida was held. And what it did is it delayed. And the reason that was a blessing is because the first few months of that journey, I tried to do it on my own. And I had one of those aha moments to where, like, dude, what are you doing, man? You're trying to do this all on your own and you're lost, confused, starting to become insecure. Don't know how I'm going to get my bike there. What's a transition? Is it the right thing to wear? What about my nutrition? Like a lot of things that I just didn't know. And that aha epiphany moment for me was, bro, you're a coach. What are you doing? Right? Get a damn coach. And, thankfully, I came to my senses and I did. And, that coach was also blessed that we had a few extra months to train the right way, be prepared the right way. And so it delayed the experience a few months, but it was worth it. It was so much more enjoyable. Was able to get that following year to get Ironman Texas. And, the following year, we signed up for a couple more, which led us into the pandemic, which delayed. But ultimately, we were able to go back and get Ironman Florida, and then we were able to, after much delay because of the pandemic, we were able to go get Ironman Tulsa, and was not at all possible without the help of a great coach. And since capturing that third full Ironman, which my dad was able to be at, my whole family was able to be at. My sister was in Tulsa, where my sister and her husband and all her kids live, and they were able to be there for that finish. It was really, really, it was really special. And so, just like Jesse said, you accomplish any big milestone, what's next, and reset that scary goal. And ever since, I've been on this long distance kick, right? A guy that could maybe make it a mile if I had to go, to marathon distance, getting the full Ironman distance, and then ultimately running, these 100-mile foot races. Got three under the belt. We've got a couple more on the calendar for later this year, with ultimately, like always, right, working towards a bigger goal. And I can truthfully say, guys, it's not possible without great people, without great coaches. Coaches give us the framework. They see our blind spots. They tell us what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. And all I can tell you guys, on your path from agent to CEO of your business, the CEO of your life, if you want to collapse time, get a great coach. Anywhere that you are committed to improving that area of your life, be it your fitness, be it your relationships, be it your business, get a damn coach. I'm telling you guys, a great coach will collapse time. They see around corners for you, and really put you in a position to succeed and truly have it all, and help you get closer to that freedom and that perfect day that you have for yourself. So awesome. Thank you, guys. Hopefully you got tons of value. Take us up on that free training, sevenfigurebp.com. Make sure you're connected, man, at John Kitchens Coach everywhere. Subscribe to the podcast. That's where this episode will end up on the podcast, coachcodepodcast.com. Subscribe. Get on all the platforms. Follow us. We drop tons of content every day for you guys. Just always remember core value, right? Always add value. Appreciate you. If you have any questions on anything, we're here for you. We'll see you. Keep rocking.